Hi and welcome to this video in which I want to talk to you about something that most mothers do not fit in the same sentence as. However, having a narcissistic mother is anything but ordinary like normal mothers is. So that's why we talk about it, because most survivors, most children and then growing up to be youths and adults who have found themselves with this kind of mother have deep woundings and have in very many cases felt that they are really they are the problem. So we're not going to have a good life if we carry on blaming ourselves and not seeing the truth. So let's do that. Let's talk about first 5 different ways that your narcissistic mother may have sabotaged you as a child, and then moving on to as an adult. So my name is Åse Wegeref and I'm a registered counsellor and I'm a survivor myself. And you can work with me if you want. There is an email on my YouTube channel, so you can email me if you're interested in that. So I think one of the things that really comes up in terms of how she sabotages is that she takes away your ability to be a child that's free of concern and able to just play and just feel free and safe and secure. So she does create a disturbed attachment pattern in us because we do not feel safe, we do not feel emotionally taken care of, and perhaps not also on other levels. So being in this kind of environment where we are in a relationship with someone who is so toxic and abusive and is our mother creates in us a real deep sense of unworthiness and shame about ourselves. It's a real dark place to be when you're not feeling safe in your home, in your family, and if you don't feel that, then you probably don't feel safe many other places either. At least as a small child, before school, it's really, really hard, and that's the time when a lot of our personality and a lot of how we adapt is formed. So the first way she sabotages you is by taking your freedom to be that child that you could have been. So you end up being fearful, mistrustful, feeling shame, feeling unworthy, like less than, because you're treated consistently as someone who is not to be, she just wants her own voice to matter. So you do learn that you don't matter. And as a child, you can't do anything other than agree with her. So you agree that you don't matter. So this then creates a deep sense of, don't know what the word is, like, it's really grim. There's an emotional state that we are in, that we come back to, that we experience a lot of the time. And for a child in this situation, they may try to fantasize about something else, but the real core of it is that you are in a really difficult place emotionally, where you are overwhelmed by all of this going on and left to your own devices to figure it out, which you can't as a child. So it's just really, really, really hard. And we know as children, like, time goes often, well, sometimes it goes fast, but a lot of the times, like, kids do feel that time is slow, and especially when you're in this much pain, it's endless. So another way that she sabotages you as a child is by controlling your life and your relationships. She doesn't support you and in finding your own activities and hobbies and things that you like. She will have things that she wants you to do, ways that she wants you to be, and she gives you a mold to fit into. So I remember things like when I suggested that I wanted to do horseback riding. I love animals, and saying that love of animals is something that a lot of us feel really deeply, because we have had some consolation in the form of unconditional love and connection with our animals when we didn't have anything else. So with humans, with our mothers and our families. So choosing for your child, instead of letting that child, at least if you don't pay any attention to what the child says they want or is expressing and so on, then you're just shaping and molding from the outside. And with a narcissistic mother, there's a lot of shaping and molding from the outside, with a disregard for who you are as a person. And this feeds into a loop of not feeling good enough, worthy enough, and lovable the way you actually are. So there's no concern for your inner world. There's no interest in your inner world. There is no delight in you the way you are. That is actually one of the things that attachment researchers have found, that kids really grow on that, feeling like they can see the love for them in their parents' eyes and really feel that the parent delights in being around them. And that is something that you probably didn't get a lot of. And I'm sure there are a lot of kids who don't get that for a lot of different reasons. But in this case, with having a narcissistic mother, it's very likely that you had this experience. Another way that she sabotages you as a child is by differentiating and preferential treatment and being unfair with you and your siblings. So casting you into different roles and treating you very differently, very unfairly. So if you are starved of love and affection and attention, then she may actually have personal motives to use another sibling and to give them apparent love and attention and so on, which is, she can't really love. This isn't love. We don't do this. Well, love doesn't have this kind of nature. So she's using her children in different ways for her own. That's why she's controlling, and she's using the children and the relationships for her own needs. But for you then, being treated unfairly, not getting the things that your sibling gets, which is so important for kids. I mean, that's why kids have, they measure on cups and they measure this and that just to make it exactly equal. And I remember us having my children, we had to make it, as accurate as things could be. But I took that seriously, because it means that it doesn't just mean the thing that you're measuring. It means your love, your care, your protection, all those emotional qualities that you would have longed for so much. And when you are hungering for this and you see someone else getting it right in front of you, and it's maybe even a demonstration in your face to give this to them and not to you, that is the kind of emotional abuse that is highly toxic and sabotages you, because it creates such deep emotional woundings inside of you, which you're going to have to deal with later on and so on. I mean, these kind of things can create a lot of things like jealousy problems and fear of connecting in relationships later on, struggling to know yourself and so on. So if these are things that you do struggle with, then I'd like to tell you that I do run a 12-week program, a healing journey to your authentic self, and it's running at the moment. And if you're interested in joining it when it's available again, then please do email me. My email is on my YouTube channel, or you can join the link to my email community that's in the comment of this video, so that you can learn about next time. So let's move on to as an adult then. Your mother has, she knows you because she doesn't actually know the real you, the internal world of you. She knows from a narcissistic point of view, she knows where are you vulnerable and what will hurt you and how can she control you and so on. So there's a lot of shadow sides to this, but she's able to dig right into the ways that she has previously hurt you and re-traumatized you. So she can just dish out more unfairness now that she's an adult, you're an adult. She can just repeat it. She can just perhaps even do a slight thing, because even that small thing that you are then struggling to actually, you can't confront it because it looks like you're being stupid about it by looking at this small thing. But she knows very well, and so do you, that what she's actually doing is stirring up all your old wounds from earlier and how she treated you and you were helpless. So there's a lot of stabbing emotionally and whilst concealing it and so on, and that's the way that she can sabotage you. What she can also do is to triangulate, so she can come in between of you, she does come in between of you and your siblings and relationships and so on. And for instance, giving information to one or several of the siblings and then not to you. So for instance, like if your father is sick, then she may give this information out to your brother or sister and not to you, so that you don't know what's going on. And your sibling does, she does, and then later she might even tell you that, oh, did you know that because I told your sibling? So she'll rub it in your face that she has told them and not you as well. So she's stirred up so much in difficulties, and she's created the frame for your relationship that's made your relationship be so difficult that perhaps you don't even have a relationship with your sibling anymore. So so she's carrying on this pattern of coming between you, and that in that way she's sabotaging you and the life you could have had. You could have had a good life with your sibling if only you had a parent who supported that. And when you don't, you don't. That's the sad truth of it. And she can sabotage us by just simply being cruel and nasty to our faces. And we do have a lot of wounding, doubts about ourselves, low self-worth, and probably we have a history of having had relationships that were similar to this before, hopefully that we've managed to untangle ourselves from this pattern and find good relationships. So she keeps on digging where our old wounds are. So she can also make you really unsure of yourself and doubt yourself, and this can be done in really sneaky little ways of like questioning what you're saying, or just the way she looks at you, or her voice, her tone of her voice, or her reaction. Doesn't have to be words. She can just make you unsure of yourself. And the thing is, like, parents have such a even as adults, we still, almost our whole lives, we still have the desire and the longing for our parents somewhere inside. Les Carter, also a narcissism expert, was talking about this isn't a relationship, this is an exchange. And I think that's a really good wording for this, because it's true. This appears like a relationship. I've said this so many times on my channel, but it appears as a relationship, and it's not. It's an exchange wherein she is making sure that she gets what she wants out of that exchange. And that's what it is, and that's where it ends. And that's what you've had since you were a child. So she isn't offering you a relationship. So this means that you never got offered the relationship to grow securely, to become yourself, to find yourself, to know yourself, to feel good about yourself, and so on. So again, if this is something you struggle with, then email me and tell me that you're interested in my program for healing. So the thing is, know what you are facing and have faced. Know your truth. See it for what it is. And as a child, you couldn't know this, you know. And even as an adult, like, even if you know it, it's really hard to protect yourself, and it's really hard to see it as it's happening. But it still helps with videos like this, I think, and to really like to take it seriously. Like, there's so much we don't want to know. We don't want to see it. We don't. It's awkward. It's horrible. It's not nice. It's about our parent, but still. Sorry, there's a lot of sunlight, which is delightful. That is sunlight now, but just in my face right now. But I hope that this has been helpful, and I wish you a lovely day. And do join my email community if you haven't already. And yeah, like, subscribe, and comment. Please do comment. What kind of ways of sabotage did you experience as a child, and do you still experience as an adult? The thing is, these comment fields are also really helpful for people, because we support each other and we name it and we show it so that people understand that they're not alone. So I hope you have a lovely day, and I wish you all the best, and see you again. Hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.